So we're talking about the background of artificial intelligence. Previous time we are talking about the application of artificial intelligence. You can know that artificial intelligence has a wider range of you were mentioned about the different kind of thinking, and particular is about the first is learning, and or you are finding the rule-based problem, or you can use it for planning decision and have any kind of support about the information retrieval. So for these times, artificial intelligence is not always very successful. Sometimes you can know that in artificial intelligence, we can develop there have several phases. Now this is the third time of the breakthrough about the artificial intelligence. So you can know that we are introduced this for some background and also about the thinking. So back to the thinking about the last time, we know that there have been some kind of the application like the first is the self-driving system, and special for self-driving systems, we can know that you need to have several kind of sensor and to identify what's the object. And the basis objects, you can know that the different kind of identity and about the like the objects and your pathway, and you can know what's the prediction way to prevent from some crash about the different vehicle. So basic information, we are easy to identify what is the car become in the future. Like in the future, the car might be a kind of a computer. Like you can walk and you can have a like you can do anything in the car and in terms of when you are on your job. So how to do that? That's very important because we need to find what's the interaction between the vehicles. So artificial intelligence need to play the role about the communication. The driving need to do everything like you need to work out and to have the communication who will going to the first and when the leak of the driving system. So based this information, we need to do more things. How to make the computers better understand the human behavior. And based this human behavior, we are easy to find what is the key terms, and we need to identify the first. So as you know, the Tesla use this information and can devise the information from the cars and to some robots. So you can know that they have more potential about any kind of information we can do that. And the second is the face identification. You can know that for you all of everyone, you need to do some use some mobile, or you have a smart family smart home systems. You need to identify yourself. And in terms of the COVID-19, you know that we got some masks with your a lot of range of your face. So in the cover situation, we need to identify what's the difference between how to deal with that and to find the different way. And the third is voice identification. We mentioned about the voice identification last time, but this time the voice identification we can do more than that because we got a lot of surrounding information or some voice. Like I'm recall this class, and in the beginning, you're talking about your discussion about something. Your voice is in the computer. You got my point? So that's why we need to identify the key terms and to know what is the main information we need to mention about. Got my point? So how to deal with in the different kind of situation and to then understand what we're talking about is very important, because we're taking the class, so we need to find what's something in artificial intelligence we can do it. So based this information, we need to deal with a lot of the voice and to know what exactly we are precisely to get is better to fit off. So the artificial intelligence have more applications, and you can see they got a lot of the way we can identify. The first is the symbolism. Symbolism is in terms of to find the logic about the human being, because sometimes as you're in the class, and the class, everyone hear about different things. They got a different point of view, or they can get different information. So we need to find the logic about the different kind of people, and to find what is the best practice from somehow in the experts in different areas. So this is quite important for us to find what is the logic information, and like the Carl Mitchell and or Steve Morgan or Rose Quanlan, they are doing some statistics background, or they using some logic identification to feel the symbolism about the artificial intelligence. And the second is artificial intelligence special for artificial neural network. Like the Jeffrey Hinton, he got the 2024 Nobel Prize about the how to identify the humanity brain as artificial network, and the base this network, the computer can think like human being, and to find the connectivism about the information. So that's quite important for this area. They can have a lot of the application like the neural network and like LSTM, and they got a lot of the very precise result, special for precision, special for like classification. They got a good result, but also in some of confusing, like very complicated problem, they need to find what is the reason. That's what become a problem, because this is like a black box. So if you need to identify for explainable artificial intelligence, that will help artificial neural network to better compilation. Okay, so the third way is evolution about the artificial intelligence, like the evolutionary computation. This is a very complicated thinking mechanism. You need to use a lot of the power, like in NVIDIA, to support you to make a decision about the evolutionary, and to find what is the better practice about you can use this information to better describe what is the result of a lot of the generation. So based this information, the generation is quite important for us to find what is the best result. So it takes a lot of time for every computation thinking when we need to do it in the evolutionary So basically, we need to have this information to get like a long time computing. We need to try to do it for several times and thousands of times, and we can get the feasible result to at the best. So this is the evolution like to do, and this will become a huge area about everyone need to find a better result in the competition of different data science. And the fourth is the Bayes inference. This is basically from the Bayes hypothesis. We need to know the advanced information in the beginning, and then we will try to find the different kind of situation about the probability of each condition, and then that will become better result to find the basic interface. And the final one is about the behavioral analysis. This is to find complication network, and then to identify what is the probability and what is the result. And we will talk some methodology in the future with you can know what's the background information, and based on the supervision, unsupervision, semi-supervision, and the base this kind of methodology, you can better understand what is the difference. So we're talking about this information in advance, like do you know what is the supervised learning? What is supervised versus unsupervised? Everyone know the difference? What means supervised? Somehow like classification. This is supervised or unsupervised. Yes. Do you think if the classification is supervised learning, raise your hand. Classification is supervised. If you think this is supervised learning, raise your hand. Classification. You know classification? Like we need to identify what's the difference about the class and what's the people thinking. And then we will divide in the high level or low level about intention. Then this is one kind of a result we want to figure out. And this is supervised or unsupervised. If you think the classification is supervised, raise your hand. Yeah, good. Okay. Okay, 3. Okay. Unsupervised, raise your hand. 2. No. One of them. Okay. Classification is supervised. Supervised, what means supervised? Supervised is a methodology like you know the result about the methodology. So supervised is, for example, with X and Y relationship. This is supervised. Unsupervised means X to X. That means like cluster is unsupervised because we don't have one target to identify the data. So that is the unsupervised. Okay? So classification. And for example, is there any kind of the methodology is cross-supervised and unsupervised? Yes, we have. Like neural network. Yes, you can do the supervised result and the unsupervised result is both okay. But like the very famous methodology you must know is regression. Regression, what is the regression is supervised or unsupervised? because the regression, like we use a lot of x and to predict y, right? So this is the supervised because we need to know the result. So that's easy to identify what is the supervised and what is unsupervised. Okay? And the second is how about we need to find the new target about to do the result. And this is the some basically we can find some result about logic information, because the logic is to find the process about the find the solution, or you need to find what's the better decision process about your result. So this is the we need to find the logic and the two different to think about if you want to ask some question, or if you want to have planning some your schedule or information. That will be a lot of application way. So if you want to know the advanced result, you can also you're very welcome to search these famous scholar. This is what very important for them to you to find what is the top result and your top publication in this area. And also, if you, as you know, Jeffrey Hinton got the Nobel Prize. And in the future, artificial intelligence will become a different tool or solution. You can know that we got a lot of application recently, and what is the next step to identify in real world application that will become a very critical issue. So we're using this value to find the background that will easy to have the better thinking. So if you want to know the last neural network application, you can easily to find a related paper about Jeffrey Hinton, and you can know what's the next step about the methodology. So in the morning, I'm glad to see some of you have doing related research and to find a new way to solve some problem about your systems. So that's very good for you to identify these features, and also you can know the advanced research in the beginning. That as you are following this situation, and you can get more insight on that. Also, at the evolution computing, there will be a very famous and it's the top journal about the evolution computing, and the journal name is Swan and Evolution Computing, and the editor is my friend. He shared the information about in the evolution computing they got a very high rank and a high side information, because they got a lot of scholars there to join this area to find what is the new about the better result in different kind of computation. And basically the data computation, you can know that how to deal with that in different ways to better understand in the result of the different parameter setting, or you can find what is the better result to deal with the structure about the data analysis. So you can know the John Koza's research. He is doing a lot of change about every time you can do that. So that is quite important for you to have the information. Also, if you are good at the statistics or you want to deal with some mathematics function, or you need to want to do some function-based information, you can use and find the Judy Perel and the David Heckman. You can know they do a lot of the theory analysis about the basic. Oh, that will become better for us to identify this information. And also in the behavior, because the behavior is machine learning's important part. Because machine learning, the machine need to learn a lot from human being. How to deal with the human being result and to find the behavior information. That is very important for us to have this process. So the Peter Hart, he do a lot of the research and will very recommend. So it's easy for you to find this information, and you can know what's the last topic they are focused on. So that's quite important for you to have find some good people and to do good research about this area. So for this information, we can think about the next step is what is the computer side about the thinking. The first is for you. This is a picture you can see, and for human being they saw a lot from the computer sides, and they can have like a different kind of picture. And for video, what's the relationship between the figure and video? We can think about it later. But in computer thinking, what is the computer's thought for this picture? How do you think that? Okay? You sleepy. This is the picture, yeah? And in computer side, you can see there are a lot of data. And what is the data mean? Do you think about what is the dot meaning? What's the dot meaning? Color. What kind of color? Hey, very good. Yes, this is RGB. So you can see this. They always in every dot. This in the dot it is called pixel. 像素 pixel. Yeah, and the base this pixel, you can know for each pixel they got the RGB. And for this RGB, you can identify what's the exactly color of this dot. Okay, so in the computer, what's why we need to a lot of the computation power is because this is get a lot of huge information we need to identify for a computer to deal with that. So for one picture is like this. And how about video? Video is a lot of pictures in each frame. So in a video, we will identify a lot of frames. For these frames, we can identify the change of our video. So the video will become information that computer can deal with that. So for this information, we need to identify what's the first in this picture. What you can see? Trees, forest, right? So if you want to identify a tree, how can you do? Because as you are in the trial, your parents show what is the tree to you, and then you can identify, oh, tree is like this one. So we can think about search in the pictures. Is there any trees in the pictures? Yes. So it's similar for the computer. They want to find a tree. They will think about the first. What's the data sampling about the tree? Okay? So the computer will find the age about this information, and that will become a name called pattern. The pattern, if you find the pattern in the pictures, then the computer can know is this a tree. Okay? But in real situation, if you know the pattern about the tree, sometimes this tree is bigger, some is smaller. Or for some picture or video, we might rotate. So the computer will very smartly to generate a lot of pattern in all the situations. So if you teach computer this is a tree, then the computer will generate a tree pattern with smaller, bigger, rotate, and different kind of situation to identify, to find this pattern. Is there any pattern of tree in the pictures? Then the picture will easily to identify by computer what is the key terms we want to focus on. So got my point? That is thinking about the computer. So that is the key term you need to know. Why we deal with the computer vision? We need to a lot of so many computer power and to do it at a better fees. What we want to focus on. So the computer vision is very have a high potential. For example, in the smart city, you need to find someone is he has some trouble with the issue in different, like we are recently focused on when we're driving, we'll see 科技执法. Oh, they got a lot of the identity to find if you doing some like the not the permission things. No, so that will become the issue we need to focus on for the computer vision. Okay, so we're back to the learning. Why we need to do it? What the machine do? We got the three things, and basically for each part, they got a lot of the methodology you can do it, but you need to follow this structure. The first is representation. Representation is a way you need to do the data preparation, and you need to find the objectives. So any kind of research you can follow, regarding the learning, you can follow these steps to very fundamental result. And you need to identify the problem, find the data, collect the data, data preparation, and to make the data is easy to analysis, you can do it so. So this is the data representation we are doing and focus on. And then we need to find the objective. Objective is what we focus on to find the better result. Like we got the different objectives, and for these objectives we are focused on. Like this one is we need to do. They got about five results about the artificial intelligence we are focused on. The first is prediction. Prediction, we want to predict like recently the stock is changing a lot recently because Redfield and there are a lot of issue for the international. So we want to find the prediction result, like the different value and different term in a way for the unpredictable things. So this is a prediction, the first. And second is classification. This is very important. Like for doctor, he want to check are you healthy or not. So they will identify the two kind of results. Oh, you look very good. You're healthy. Or you want to identify, or you got something you need to take medicine, or you need to do some recovery. So this is a prediction. It's very important. And the third thing is cluster. Cluster is to identify the feature from the population. So if you want to focus on the population, and then we can find what is the objective and the predicted result. And the fourth is the rule-based, like the association rule. Association rule is like we want to find the relationship between every situation. The first is like what we mentioned about if you want to buy a lot of things, we want the association rule is to find what's the relationship with your behavior. Like what's the two items you will buy it together. So this is the association rule. And then the final one is very new, and recently we are they got a lot of attention. It's about the visualization. Visualization is like the new technology or application is about somehow like digital twins. It's an application about the smart manufacturing. We need to have one thing like a board to find what is exactly situation in your manufacturing system. So this is the objective. And then finally, optimization. We got a lot of missions. We need to find the best practice. So optimization is quite important for us to find the result. Like for prediction, somehow you will find you predict the R squared is very high. That means R squared is the percentage you can deal with this kind of data. So for this data, you can know that what is the best prediction model can feasible in this data. But you need to also deal with the overfitting problem in the prediction. And the second is the classification. Classification, they will find a very famous issue of about like real. This is the real and this is prediction. Predict. Okay? Then we got the four situation. This means the true. Your prediction is the true, and actually this is true. And then that's good. And then your prediction this is false, and the real case is false. That's good. And then we got the two situations. That means type 1 and type 2 0. How to identify type 1 0? Error. The type 1 error, that means he is good, but your prediction, this is not good. So the type 1 error is this one, and this is type 2 error. So basically, in the prediction, we got a lot of the problem with how to identify the features and what is a better way to do. And there are a lot of the methodology we can deal with that. Is the first is the decision tree, random forest, and this is a lot of the classification methodology. And also the cluster is about we need to find the relationship with different data. We need to identify what's a group, and this is a very famous methodology, K-means, SOM. They got a lot of mapping systems. We need to cross it in different situations. And also, if you want to find the association rule, about the association rule result, we can find it with also we can classify it as the type 1 and type 2 results. And finally, the visualization. Visualization is just a system way to show up what's the status about the data. So that's quite important for us to find this for information. So basically, we can use machine learning and to deal with some problem. Like we got the data, we need to train it as some systems. And also we can using data about the testing data in different ways to check what's the model we construct. Then we can have a result at first is model, and we can identify strategy, and we can develop an algorithm. So this is the machine learning we can deal with that. So AI is everywhere. That means you can see when you're doing some search from internet, you take some picture, you need to classification about some pictures, you need to identify the news. For special for recently, we need to find out what is true news, what is fake news, academic, map, information recommendations, and that will become a lot of the usage about the information. So we can know there got a lot of samples like the robot taxi, and you can using the autonomous driving, then that will become a critical issue for artificial intelligence in different applications. Okay? Any questions?